May is Mental Health Care Awareness Month, and it's a non-starter. When anytime I hear the word mental, it's just like, come on. I always like to say mind health because we all have minds. When you say mental, you scare everybody away. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Anthony, and right here, my co-host is Dr. Magnus, all the way in Cali. I'm in Jersey. What's going on? Like, subscribe, people. We need freaking help here. All right,
Of course we do.
That's
Listen
right.
to us.
We all need help. So, Magnus, let's talk about it's Mental Health May. It's National Mental Health Care Month, and so let me ask you. I think people think mental. Like, oh my God, you're schizophrenic. You're crazy. Like, no. I mean, mental health can mean that, yes, but also can mean anything: anxiety, stress. Anything that's up here between the two ears is going to be mental or mind health, I like to say. We all have mind health. And so, Magnus, what, you're a trainer, you're a nutritionist. So, I mean, what do you do to deal with your anxiety and stress? What's some of your tricks that you can impart on us?
So like personally, of course, it differs from like personally and like with people that I work with, clients, I should say, because it's highly individual. And like let's bring that up first. What people do to deal with stress, it's important that they figure out what works for them. So for me, one of the facts is like training, of course. The biggest part I would say is sleep. So when I'm tired, when I'm stressful, I probably need more sleep than usual. So I usually kind of gauge that. So training might not be that hard. It might be a little bit easier. And the training is not just for physical health. It's for mental health. There's many, I mean, tons and tons of research prove that physical activity like strength training, things like that, is so good for mental health.
Yeah.
In certain countries, for instance Sweden, where I'm from, we can actually prescribe physical activity for clients, or like now like a doctor could take
Right.
to his patients.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. Then of course it comes down to it's the same thing, like try to eat healthy, stay hydrated, maybe stay away from drinking too much caffeine, which I don't use to just start out with, but other people might be a good thing. Of course, avoid alcohol.
Yeah.
Any other type of like prescription drugs or recreational drugs. I mean, unless you really need them.
Yeah.
Those are just some things that pops into my
Yeah.
head and I usually work with. Being out in nature is another one.
Oh,
And
so important.
reading, maybe not watch too much TV, things like that.
Cool. Yeah. And by the way, we're not giving any medical advice. Always check out a healthcare professional on your own. But you hit on all the ones I was going to say. It's funny because I think too, we forget like, well, for me, what I do to handle my stress too is, yes, make sure I get to bed early if I'm stressed, or go for a long walk, exercise, hydration. I'll drink, electrolyte drinks or just water. I think we forget when we're stressed, our body kind of heats up, and you sweat more, although you might not see it dripping, but hydration is very important. So I would also say, talking to somebody, maybe again,
Yes.
a counselor or a pastor, or somebody that you can trust. Now, I'm going to highly recommend to everybody, and they're not paying me, but they should. I always say that people should get on here. BetterHelp. Okay, BetterHelp. Can you see that, folks? Get on BetterHelp. I'm on BetterHelp. You get on BetterHelp. So BetterHelp's a great app. It's just a FaceTime counseling, or over the phone counseling, or you can text counseling, and you have the money. Don't tell me you don't have the money. You go on vacation, you got how many shoes? You get the latest iPhone. You got money for this. So it's about $200 and change for 4 sessions for a month. But I think that's a big help too.
Yeah.
To help you. But again, I got to be crazy. I talk about my stress, my business, stuff like that. So, anyways, all right. So, Max, let me ask you this next question. In our program here. So, what foods can make us? You just touched on it a little bit. What foods can make us more stressed? You touched on alcohol. Alcohol is a big no-no.
Yeah.
If you're stressed, ultimately, you might think it's helping you, but it's ultimately wearing you out, just suppressing your immune system. So what foods are not good for us?
So I usually like stimulants. We're talking all forms, so like caffeine and other things, and energy drinks, all those stuff. Coffee, sorry, tea with too much caffeine and all that. Um, Looking at food that cause inflammation is something that I would consider to remove too, because that's just also a stressor for us. So that would be our fried food, uh, things that are high in fat, things that are high in sugar, and look at that. So it's like a lot of things. I mean, that, like doing those things would definitely help out with reducing stress.
Yes.
But it's so easy that's the thing that we fall into. Oh, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to do this and that. Okay, like closest fast food joint, or we go to the gas station and buy like all the junk that we can find and start like pressing it into our faces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing. When we're stressed, we also have a tendency to overeat, and because we're might be like, this is the same thing when we're getting too little sleep, like we make kind of the bad decisions because we feel like we're hungry, we feel like we need more energy than we need because we're tired. So we choose the high fatty and high starchy or sugary things because they contain a lot of energy. And again, we're kind of spinning down the negative spiral.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Yeah, 100%. And I would second what you just said. If you're you're going into mental stress, stay away from sugars, meaning alcohol too. Stay away from the sodas and the iced teas, and the sugar is going to suppress you. It's going to break you. It's not, so there are ways foods can help and hurt. Food is medicine, folks. So yes, even for the mind, you want again, water. Try to do as much as whole foods, natural foods as you can. Try to stay away. And by the way, if you're going to be going into a fast food joint, that's not an excuse to eat shit. I mean, there's a lot of healthy options at fast food joints. Like I said, you don't have to get soda. You can get water, same price.
Yeah.
You can get a baked potato.
And you can even get water for free if you
order a meal. So it's not right. So now,
and I guess like if people know that they're going into a stressful phase, maybe you should consider of getting a meal prep company to like deliver food for you
if you have the money. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean that like, first of all, you don't have to get groceries. Usually you don't have to clean up too much, and everything is kind of like delivered, and usually like very nutritious food too.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that we're just talking about stress, but like if people have there's hundreds of mental disorders one can have, but I think that, and again, you kind of touched on it all, but if you have any kind of mental disorder, doesn't matter what it is, could be phobias, panic, anxiety, it could be OCD, it can be your whatever, God forbid, right? You have something more serious, schizophrenia, something like that. Like, well, number one, by the way, people who are mentally ill, okay, when you hear, because 99.999% of the time, they're of no harm to anybody. So I think sometimes the news really mischaracterizes. I'm talking about people like with severe problems, not stress and anxiety, but like there's no need to be afraid of mentally ill people. Yes, mental ill people unfortunately can do harm to others, but 99% of the time they're harmless. So they get a scarlet letter. Anyways, but back to people, how they can take care of themselves. Yeah, I mean, eating a omega-3 fatty acids, salmon, walnuts, things that are going to help coat the nerves. These are things that help protect us. Again, even green teas, waters, things like that are so important. Vegetables, staying away from fried stuff. The fried stuff is going to wreak havoc on your nerves. It's going to wreak havoc on your mind. It's going to make you cloudy. Obviously smoking and drinking is bad, but so there's a lot that we can do nutritional wise, getting out, exercising, releasing endorphins. I know when I'm stressed and things like that, that helps. But I think no matter what mental issue someone's having, post-traumatic stress, if you're going through something, God forbid you're a soldier or a cop and you've seen some heinous stuff out there, what we eat, who we talk to, proper sleep, really is so necessary. So those are the things we can do. I mean, Magnus, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, but looking at it too, it's like I think also one of the most important things that we can do for our mental health is actually laugh. you know, like sitting down, and it could be like reading a book, it could be listening to a podcast
Yeah.
where we're funny, watching a favorite show, maybe go
Yeah.
to watch up some stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Now with all the streaming services, we have so many, like there's a lot of stand-up comedy out there that is available for basically everybody to view, and hopefully you can find someone that you enjoy, and laugh out loud and just have fun, you know.
Yeah.
Like explain to your friends and family too that you're going through a stressful time,
Yeah.
and get the support, and also that they might actually take you out and
Right.
take care of you a little bit, give
Yeah.
you a TLC.
Yeah, and there's not one thing that's going to be a cure-all, but as a cumulative, adding all this together, it means a lot. And if you're suffering with depression, or you have suicidal thoughts,
Yeah.
or something like that, it's there's a lot you can do to save yourself. Again, bits and pieces, But again, it's the proper sleep, proper nutrition, having a schedule. By the way,
Yes, getting
making
up
yourself
in time, going to bed on time.
right, and saying, hey, at 2 o'clock I do this, 3 o'clock. I think sometimes when we have too much free time, that can be, devil's minds, what do you call it? Idle minds, devil's playground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think that's one thing. I was reading an article about people who are drug, what do you call it? Recovering drug addicts. They find that when recovering drug addicts have a very busy schedule, that helps them stay off of drugs. But if they have a less busy schedule, the idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you're scheduling and you even if it's just like, okay, 2 o'clock I go for a walk, 3 o'clock I go whatever, see my friend, like whatever it is, get a schedule. These things matter, and there's a lot of free help out there. There's no excuse not to get free help from a therapist out there, or a priest, or an imam, or a rabbi. Community centers. If you seek, and you'll find. Anyways.
Yeah. So a couple of other things, like when it comes to like supplements, getting enough like magnesium and zinc could be two things, because that would help you also calm down and sleep better. And ashwagandha is usually that's another supplement that usually helps reduce stress.
Yeah, I take it every so often when I'm stressed.
Yes. So a couple of things to help out too, and I think also, like, one of the like more important thing that we haven't kind of brought up. I mean, this it's part of it. Like it's actually trying to deal with the source of stress.
Right.
Like it's just things that you can reduce. Like it could be anything. Like and like you don't need a third car when you have two cars yourself already. Right. To just put yourself in a bigger financial hole.
Right.
So like thinking about these things, that what is the source of my stress,
right.
and deal with them.
Right. You bring up a good point, because a lot of times, and I'm as you know, I'm not a big fan of prescription medication. I'm not saying don't take it, folks, and obviously consult with your doctor and stuff. But I think all too often, as a society, we, meaning society, pops pills, but you're not getting to the root cause of the problem. The pills are a Band-Aid. You still got to deal with the 800-pound gorilla in the room. So why not tackle the 800-pound gorilla, so you don't need the meds? Because medications, they solve one problem, but you get 3 new ones. Yeah. So that's, I know when I was going through, as you know, and I talked about it before, it was about a year or so ago, I was having anxiety attacks or panic attacks, and I was just like beside myself. I was like, shit, like, I got to go on medication? And I mean, if I had to, I would. Yeah. But I was like, let me examine my life. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I don't know. I mean, I think I live a pretty clean life, but it turned out I was drinking way too much coffee, which was really, really a big problem. I didn't realize. And I also incorporated yoga into my every morning, deep breathing. I made sure I get out more to go to walk, actually, either outside, or I go, no matter rain, sleet, or snow, either go to the mall and walk, or if you can, people, you got money, join a gym, or walk in place in your house. There's no, my point is, I increased my exercise. I got off the coffee. I, went to BetterHelp and spoke about it with a therapist, and I didn't need to take medication. And I understand people are going to say, well, my thing is more severe. I get it. I understand. I'm not against medication, but I think 8 out of 10 times people pop that pill way too quick when it comes to stress, anxiety, depression. Like, get to the root cause, talk to a therapist. We know for a fact that cognitive therapy is as potent, as powerful as pills, if not more. And we know this because I always say, if you look at any major bridge in probably the world, or in America, they all have phones on them. Or okay, why? Because if someone's going to commit suicide, the power of talk is more powerful than pills. That's how powerful talk is. So cognitive therapy, talking to somebody, getting your nutrition right, getting, your lifestyle right, being around positive people, having a strong schedule. So, I'd really encourage people to really look at, Magnus, like what you said, what is the cause? Because the pills are only a Band-Aid. That's like
Yep.
taking Advil for a brain tumor. You still got the brain tumor, buddy. What are you gonna do about that?
Yep.
So that's mental health too. Or I'm not gonna name the name of the pills, but the pills I'm talking about, folks. They're just Band-Aids. Anyways, so Magnus, anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that was a great summary of it. Like, so yeah, really, really good. I like that, what you said.
Yeah. So, and folks, if you know someone that's struggling, don't be the asshole and be like, "Hey, my door's always open, or anytime you want to talk to me." They're not going to talk to you. You have to be active and say, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, dude. I haven't seen you in a while, girl, whatever, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your relative. I'm taking you out for lunch. I'm taking you out for coffee." Because they're not going to, no one wants to be like, "Can you talk to me?" I feel like most people aren't. So, and if you say my door's always open, that's a passive aggressive FU. Like, if you care about somebody remotely, call them, be like, "Hey, listen, we're going out to lunch tomorrow. Okay. I'm taking you out. Oh, you can't go out tomorrow? Okay. How about next week? How about next week? How about next week?" Like, follow up, because that is what really matters. That's what people need. They need to, know that you really care more than just, "Hey, my door's always open." Yeah. Okay. Anyways. So, and you're not a professional, folks. We're your friend. No one's saying cure their problem, but be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I think that's awesome. That's I mean, I think we went through a lot of important things and facts here. So I mean, hopefully we also want to hear more from you guys. Of course, you do not need to say anything, who you are or whatnot. We just want to help as many people as possible.
Awesome. Magnus, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Check back in for more great content and subscribe. All right. I'm signing us off from Cali, from New Jersey. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.